What's going on? I think we're live. Sorry. Still getting used to this stuff. Downloading a couple of files here that I've got to get into our build tonight, and then we should be up and rolling, and I can start packing things in on the 3D Nester. So that's kind of what I'm waiting on right now. So that there. Once I get my files downloaded, I'll be able to zoom in and show you a little bit more. So yeah. Cool. That should be that. Those will take a minute to download, so I'll just put them down there so you don't have to worry about them. Alright, so that's that on getting the files. So now I have my files in. I just had to make sure I wasn't like, I had to, just in case there's something on there I can't show, I just covered it up. So we're probably cool. I already showed you guys way too much anyway, so don't get too ticked off about that. Alright, we're ready to bring these in and start going with them. So I will just kind of start picking up my files here. This one is a BK socket that I have not printed yet, so I kind of take the bottoms of these. First thing that I do on all these, when I bring them in and I hit autofix on them. Again, let me back up a little bit because I just jumped right into my magics here and started flying, and we didn't even get into the good stuff. So the main jam on this, whoops, sorry, that there, put that there, put this here, whoop. All right, cool. All right, that almost achieves the goal. All right, sweet. Cool. All right. So this is Materialise Magics. 23.01 is my current version. I'm running this on an eval license right now as we're kind of figuring out which software we're going to go with. We're going to go with Magix. So first thing, I pretty much just made myself my own bounding box for current on the eval so that I can run. I have a shape that I can nest my parts into using the 3D nester on their center module, which is part of my evaluation license. So what I'm looking to do here is basically I can get into that. I can nest all of my parts into the parameters of the box of the build, and then I merge them into one STL, back that out, take that into the HP build manager. Since it's free, even you can have it. That's how much they think about that. So you can even get it. I take the STLs into there. It's one STL. It's basically my whole build saved as one STL. We've experimented with a couple of other ways. Some people have said use 3MF files. I've tried some of this. I've not had luck with that yet on these super large files where I've got several large organic parts. These are large organic parts that a lot of people have trouble with getting to build correctly, so I'm going to try and help with that today. So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're checking out. That's what we're going to try and do. Let me see if I can pull this up and catch this for comments. So if there are any comments, drop them in there and I'll try to get to that stuff as well while we're rocking and rolling. For now, I'll drop it on there unless I see people joining. If no one joins, haha. Alright, here we go. I'm going to take the first part. First thing I do, hit it with the auto fix. Already did that on this one, so we'll skip that. Now I'm going to come in here and I add basically like a label to the part. So I generally go with circular. Yeah. If I can remember how I do this here. Try to get square on there. You can cheat and just pick your own, with your front views or whatever. Pick 2 spots. It allows you to make your circle. Try to get it really close. It doesn't really matter if you're not that close. You're going to put a locking mechanism on the bottom of that. So for us, this doesn't really matter. This is just so when we're dealing with having several sockets in the shop at one time, we can kind of see what's going on with them and keep them straight. So that is the trick there. Then you select where you want your lettering to start, where you want it to end. So I'm going to pick like there and run it around to about there. And then it's going to put the previous one that I used. I'm going to delete that and use auto part name is the one. There we go. Boom, so there's my auto part name all populated in there. Since it's a little bit longer, I'm probably going to need to make that spacing a little bit larger. So to do that, I'm pretty much just going to, let's see here, delete this one. Come back here, take my 2 spots. See how I pick roughly there? Again, you'll just kind of play with that a little bit, but you can see I'm pretty comfortable with where I can choose this. So to bring this in, where I am choosing to put my dots is here and here, and that allows me to get a good circle on it. And so your first select, click for your 2 dots, and then drag. I dragged out to about here, and then it gives you your inner circle. I try to make this small so my lettering will be as big as possible, and then on this one I'm literally going to go from the bottom all the way around to here and just leave like maybe 15% or 15 degrees, and that way it fits all the things I need it to fit in there nice and neatly. And then we'll go ahead and cut those. I think I've got it. Yeah, 1 millimeter depth. I always go down and never do positives. They want to blast off generally with your when you're doing your bead blasting. So there's that. It's thinking, it's putting that in, and let's see. Still thinking. There it is, all done, so you can kind of see how that is. And this is, again, it's nothing super fancy, but it's just enough for us to be able to tell sockets apart when we've got a bunch of them in the process, because, you know, there's not a whole lot that, I mean, yeah, they're all different, but they're not different enough to where they're super easy to keep track of. So, oops. So there's that one. I'll grab a different one here. Another socket. This one I'll bring over here. This one can go up and out of the way. Same jam on this. Try and look through those holes, get them really close. And then I'm going to do the same thing, circular label. And I'm picking my 2 dots about the same spot, getting pretty close, going really small on the inner circle. And then I'm going to wrap this one around pretty far as well. Don't lie to me. That's Materialise, just trying to lie. Every now and then it says you can't do something, and you just gotta be like, pretty sure you can, bro. Let's do this. Let's come back out of here and do our autofix. Since I got ahead of myself there, I did not do my autofix. And then let's see if that makes it any better. Tools, label, again, tools, label. I know it's fast, sorry. Circular, 2 dots. Pull my circle down there, go inner circle here, wrap from here to here. Aha, I told you it could do it. It didn't want to, but it could. Auto part name, so that's automatically placing whatever code that I place in there that we've decided to do for our part naming to keep things straight. It does that for us, which is pretty nice. So we can just throw in that part. So if you have any questions on all that, comments, things, what the kids say, you know, hit subscribe, hit the bell if you like it. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs up, I think is the thing. So appreciate that. That one should be done, engraved. Yep, so that's done. So we'll close that out, and then we'll move this socket out of the way as well. And then we'll come in and see if we can get another one. Let's go peek in here. This is another below the knee socket. We'll bring it in and see a lot of these computers that people are running this on with these large organic shapes have a little bit of and that's a really nice one. Look at how clean this file came in compared to some of these other ones. I don't know why that is, but anyway, really nice file on this one. So we'll still hit autofix, but it probably doesn't need it. I don't know if that's a difference in scanner being used. I'll have to ask Brent why that was different like that. It could be his export settings. It could be a couple of things. So. Alright, so again, I'm gonna straighten it up, get pretty close. You can, if you're super OCD, you can get more close than this. I'm pretty OCD and I'm alright with it. It's whatever. Again, tools, label, checking circular, label here, placing a dot here, placing a dot there, dragging. I'm actually not holding down on the mouse on this, I'm just up. And it brings down to there. I get it pretty close. I do my inner circle, start the wording here, wrap it around and finish it here. It says it wants me to put it right there, but I don't like that. I'm gonna go a little farther. And boom, there's the wrap, and we will do apply as STL. Apply as STL basically means stamp it and stamped, done. Close, slide this out of the way, and again, let's see if we can get 4. That would be pretty cool. Oh, it's above the knee. We'll try it. It'd be pretty cool if we could do that. If we could get an above the knee and 3 below the knee prostheses in one. That'd be cool. Looks like we might be able to. The below knees are pretty reasonable. Alright, so this is a pretty cool thing right here that we've been able to catch. So if you can see on this, which you might not be able to, I'll zoom way in on the screen here. And you can see on this particular part, these little teeny tiny floaties out here. So what that is kind of just like junk floating around from the scan. And so if we try to do any nesting around this, the nesting is going to want to account for each of these little like fuzzy spots out in space as being a part of the part. And so basically it's going to want to nest. It makes the part a much larger bounding area for nesting. So what we're going to do is a really easy fix. You don't have to go in here and like pick all of these little teeny tiny things and delete them. The easiest way is you select your part. I have it on right click for slide or translate, which is what I was using to slide those out of the way. I'm going to bring it up here so I'm out of the white. And you can see, like, again, all that little, whoa, holy moly, all that junk right there just kind of out in space. And so what I'm going to do is I've got this part selected, close translate. I'm going to come back up on the Tools tab, go across to the Merge Boolean, and click on Shells to Part. So this is essentially the reverse of what I'll do at the end of the video when I take all the parts and merge them into one. What I'm going to do on this is I'm going to take all of these little fuzzy spots in this one part and break each shell out into its own part. So this might take it might take a second. It might not. There's a lot of data in that for it to crunch through. So, oh, that was pretty quick. So again, what it did is it made it basically made a dot right there for each individual part that it made out of that. So what you'll do here is just pick like your main base part, right click, go to translate, and then slide it out of the way. And what that does is it leaves all of these parts out here for you. So what you can do there is just highlight all of them, right click, and go to the X. I'm gonna hit, it says save changes to, one of these random dots. You want to hit no to all, otherwise you'll be here all day until you hit no to all. It says, do you want to remove this part from the modeler scene? And that answer is definitely yes. So hit remove part, and then you'll see all of those little spots are gone now, and all we have left is the one part that we wanted the whole time. So that's a pretty cool little trick. I'm going to look at this because that looks a little bit suspect, but that might just be a spot that they want in there. That's interesting, actually. So I'm gonna take oh man, it's 11:30, there's no way. I'm gonna have to try to get hold of Brent and see if we really need that hole in there, because it doesn't look like it should be in there. But it is pretty round, I don't know. Oh, it's a tough one. Sorry, give me a second here. This is I gotta make sure I do this right. Alright, while I'm waiting on a response on that, I'll just start doing the name tag on the bottom of this one, so it should be, give me something to do in the meantime. So again, tools, label, you know the drill. I'm gonna go rectangular tag on this one, or rectangular label, just to kind of show you something different, and we'll see how it looks. Again, I'm gonna try and by straighten it up, I mean like get these circles so that you don't see as much of a shadow. If you can just see the line, you're pretty close to straight dead on, which is good enough for me for this part type. Square it up. And then I'll just go like from here to here. I don't know if I'm gonna like that, but we'll see what it looks like. Oh no, I'm gonna have to rename it because it's calling it shell of what its part name was. Yeah, I don't like that. We're gonna have to fix that. Alright, close. We're gonna get out of this. Control Z. My favorite buttons. It's like they knew to make it Control Z for Zach because I would need to hit it so often. So there's that on that one. And I'm gonna go back in here to the file name. Where can I change that actually? There we go. So I got that changed. Alright, let's go back to square on, or pretty dang close. And then labels, label, rectangular. And then I'm just gonna go like this on this one actually. I'm gonna go wider. And see what that gives us for a base. And adjust from there. That's probably perfect. Actually, I'm gonna do this just for fun. Just for fun. I'm gonna do it like this. Oh, I don't know if it'd fit. That's longer. Yeah, that was fine. The way I had it was good. No. That was such a rookie mistake. It's going to cost me about 30 seconds right there. Darn. Alright, so that's obviously not cool. So delete that. That's why you got to have it square because it literally projects it straight down on whatever view you have. So again, let's try that like that. Cool, good enough. Apply. And then it's down in there and pressed. Let's see here. No response on that one. That's a bummer. Don't know what to do there. What I might do is, I tell you, I bet that's supposed to be there. The only reason that I'm suspect on it is because of the location. I've not seen one have a hole up here, but I know we've talked about it, about putting a hole there so that we can do some stuff. So I'm just gonna leave it there on this one. If we need to fill it, we can fill it. And I think that's it's just such a weird spot. Alright. Well, I think I'm going to go with it. Oh, hey Chris, I can tell you just like my story. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the video. Alright, so now I'm going to do my super secret rotation, so don't watch. You know, this is the trick that no one can know, so don't watch. There you go. That's the treat. That's the magic. Alright, we'll see if we can get all these to go into a build. It's going to be tricky. We'll see what happens. This is kind of the cool part that shows you the power of the software and of the machine, the computer that is. So, it's not a good start. Hopefully I can put this socket in that socket and maybe get, I don't know, we'll see. I might be doing this manually. Ooh, we got 3 out of the 4 on auto, so that's a good start. So now my challenge is, you can see it got those 2 nested inside of each other. So now what my job is to basically see if I can manually get these 2 to fit. And if we can do that, we are in there. So I'll just go keep current state, open these back up. Alright, bring this in a little bit closer. So this is the fun part. Alright, cool. So there's those. Get them all selected again. Don't know what's taking me so long. Alright, cool. Here, I'll take this one up and over. See how close we are. Go to top view, slide it back over here, see how close we can get. And then what I'm going to do is adjust the rotation to try and get the rotation to be about the same as the previous one. Looking like we're getting closer there, right? Let's see if we put it down in there. How close? Getting closer. So this is the trick, is we're almost utilizing full bottom range here, as you can see. So that's already like the minimum we can go. So now I gotta it's gonna be hard. It's gotta basically nest completely inside of the other one. Not looking good, folks. Not looking like that's gonna work. Alright, let's scrap that plan, put this one. Let's go top view again. See if I can get the rotation right on this one. Need to slide it over here and put it in this one. I don't know. It is not looking good today. Alright. I'm just going to Control Z back out of that sucker. Let it go back to where it was because it kind of worked. And then, man, that is a bummer. That would not work. So yeah, see, if you mess up and you think you've got it everywhere except for right there, then you build 2 sockets together and you take a hammer out and you hit yourself right in the back of the hand so that you remember to never do that again. So that's how I know that when I see that, that's not good. That's just a little tip for you there. Tip from done it before. That's not fun, especially when it's not your money. You're trying to explain to someone why you just wasted $1,000 of somebody else's cash. That's not a good place to be. Oh, we are close. We are in striking distance. I wonder if it can get in there. It is so tight though. That's pretty tight right there. I'm just gonna push it down through and see what happens. It's not gonna work. Not gonna work. Man, that's a bummer. Alright, I'm gonna try and nest them again. Just see what we can get into. Three might be the limit tonight, unfortunately. Having that large one makes it tricky. Even though it is helping it nest, I wonder if I had two like that, if I could actually nest 4 total sockets or not. That would be an interesting experiment. Maybe I'll mirror it on a different video and try that and just see what happens. It's thinking really hard, but it's not looking like it's going to be thinking hard enough. So I hit cancel, that cancels me out of that. It'll put the parts back to where they were located before I hit that start of the nest. So that's a cool way to get out of where you are and kind of get a better restart. Or if you're trying to just see where you were before you restarted, it'll get you there. So that's kind of cool. And I'm just wondering if I move this guy out and try these 3 first, if that'll help. So that's what I'm going to try next. Again, here's my settings, copy them down because they're worth a lot of money. It's another joke. It's about midnight, so keep those coming for you. It didn't listen. See, I made a joke about my settings being the works, and then I didn't change them to what I was trying to accomplish. So what I wanted to do there was actually, instead of making a joke, was hit selected parts first, so that it'll put these 3 smaller ones in first, and then we'll see if I can finagle the large one in, since I can nest it kind of up underneath several of them. So that's what I'm kind of trying right now. See how that works. So you can kind of tell what it did there. It put these 3 in first, and now it's trying to figure out where to put that one, which the computer's not quite, it's not too terribly brilliant, so it's probably not going to figure that out. Another thing I can do is I'm kind of aggressive on my tilt angle, so I can take them back, reduce the tilt angle back down to like maybe 5 less degrees of angle, and probably still be okay to get what I want done on these. So maybe I'll try that next. So I'm going Control Z way back. Hopefully I got enough Control Z, enough undos. Oh, I'm like 2 undos short. Oh, that's no bueno. So let's just try that. Cool. Get that one, go up top. So again, I'm bringing them back to where I had them before I rocked them, so I can do that correctly. Using top view, that one's, shoot, that one's a toss-up. Who freaking knows how that was? Oh, I know, I can use this bottom. Boop. There it is. And back 5. Cool, so now they're at X degree variations. Hopefully you're paying attention so you can get that information, but I'm not going to tell you. You just gotta have to keep watching videos, because I'll keep telling you what it is really quickly in each one, but I'm not gonna like elaborate it or put it on blast. Alright, let's go. I'm taking off the selected parts first because they're all selected, and let's just throw all 4 of them at it and see what happens. 2 of the 4. That's not looking good. Oh man, it's close. It's got the littlest one left out. Man. It wants to. Alright, I'm just gonna keep current state and see if I can't. Yes, that's a bummer. See if I can't get it in manually if I mess around with it enough. But it looks like I might just pull the big one out and just go with the small ones and be happy with that for today. And then I can run that one over the weekend with a couple of other jobs. So I don't have to run it. It would have been really cool if I could have got them all, but it is. And I wanted to do all parts. Oops, sorry, selected parts and optimize. So there's those 3 in there. It looks good to me. I'll see if I can get that. Yeah, why is it doing that, man? See if we can get it to come down a little bit and like do this in under like 275 millimeters. Let's just throw that out there and see if it can do that. That's where I'd like to be. So it doesn't think it can, but we know it can. We just got to figure out what the right number is. Let's go 295 millimeter height. It's got to be under that. It's got to be. Come on now. It's trying to say that it can't do it. Let's go 300. I'll give it 300. It's got to be able to get it into 300. Come on. Yeah, 299, 298.7 millimeters total build height. That only gives us a density of under 4%, so we've got a lot of work to do to get that density up. We want to see 5, 6, 7, 8% on these builds. Even at that, you're not crushing the game, but you are, you're doing okay, I guess you could say. You know, you're not getting rich, but we're not really doing this to really get rich, so a little bit different, I guess. Let's see, I want to save this file. And then remove. Alright, a couple of other parts we're going to add in. We've got EVA bracket for scanning on an Artec with a device. This is a little part that's available from Digitized Designs. So if you want one of these or you want to learn more about it, hit those dudes up. That should work. Hopefully that missed. Just gonna go selected part only on that and make sure it can find a home. In the meantime, I'll be out here looking for more filler parts. I think it put it in. Yep, cool. In there. Good enough. Let's go back in here. Let me see what else I got. I gotta hide these things. Sorry, you know how it goes. Never know what might be in here. Cool, there's some parts. is how I separate parts out. I just deselect one and slide all of them. Seems to work pretty well. Nothing earth-shattering, but it's whatever. I guess I could probably do something else too. Oh, no. These all look like they kind of open up the same direction, so I'm keeping them all in a line, and now I'm going to go back and pick up all the ones that are in the opposite direction. I'm holding control and grabbing these, so there's 1, 2 that are the opposite direction. I think that's it. Yep. So we're going to grab them, rotate them 180 so that they're like the others. Now we can tilt everything together, I think. Oh, almost. Now we're going to take everything that's got like an overhang like this. So see how that would trap heat. If you build it like that, you're in a heat-based system. So if you build this part with that up, you're going to get heat trapped in there. You're going to get extra powder built up. It's called thermal bleed. It's a condition, and you don't want it on your parts. So we're going to change that. So I'm going to find all the parts that have only one overhang like that part does, which is that one. This one, again, selecting and holding control, and that's it. So I'm going to rotate those as well, 180 this way. Let's see what we got here. We got some little caps, so those need to be up as well, right? Because if they're not, they're just going to trap heat. So we're going to lay these all the way back 65 degrees, which is like laying them flat. That was 60. 65. It's like laying them flat and bringing them up 25, and that's where we want those. The lower you can keep your parts so that they don't travel a whole lot in the Z, the better. In general, I'm also going to create duplicates of those parts. Give me 2 of each, and I'm going to run them at basically, that would be vertical, and I'm going to run this set 25 down from vertical. So see what I'm doing there? I'm getting 2 versions, both with a magic number tilt to them. And then on these, I only need 2, so I'm just going to go back 25 degrees on those. And then, let's see, all these other ones here. I got this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. We got one more right here. And then these are little round canisters. So on these, I'm just going to go back like, I think I'm going to go 40 on these. And that should be cool enough. They're going to be fine just how they are. So that's those parts there. Got those out of the way. Back to this. Can't show you. Sorry about that. Make sure I got everything. I think that might be it. Alright, get back into here. Yes, convert all those parts. Actually, I wonder if I hit don't convert, what would happen? I'm just curious. No. Yeah, those are way too small, aren't they? Yeah, those can go away. I'll just bring it back in because I'm lazy. I could just take those and scale them, but it's so much easier and more gratifying to let the computer do all that work, and I can just do that. And boom, there we go. So I'll take these 3. These are some cool little deals. And again, I'll slide them out so I can see them and pick the ones that I want. Because one of these I don't think I want. Those are cool though, right? Pretty cool. Hey, we'll just print a whole bunch of them, right? So let's just go. I'll take these. I'm just going to try that. Why not? Got a good feeling about it. Alright, so now I'm going to try and grab all of these parts that I've got like this, right? Pretty much most of them. Grab the rest right there. I'm going to slide these out and over here out of the way. And then I'm going to come back and see if I can grab any other parts. Sorry again. Oh, what do we want? I've also got trying to get some of these right still, so I'll throw some of them in. Plus it does a good job of reminding me that I need to adjust my irradiance. I'll show you that tonight, maybe 180. Cool. Oh, Control Z on that. Selecting these and moving them up out of the way, and then I'll duplicate them and give us like 5 sets of those. Good filler work. Just some extra parts that allow us to kind of keep the density up. Oh, that's pretty cool, right? Check that out. What? So these are pretty cool. Again, it's a way for us to just kind of take advantage of some extra space in the build, and it's kind of a cool way to give people a material sample, and when you hand them this and they feel it, and it's something you tell them it's been 3D printed, that's kind of cool. And so that's just kind of something I came up with to kind of be a cool little handout to people. It works. I'm just gonna leave that flat like that, I think. Again, I play with stuff all the time, and I'm always changing it up in myself. So like as soon as I get to like, oh man, I'm really happy with the way that is, I'll just change it and run something else, because I only figured out that particular way worked because I tried it that one time and someone told me that it shouldn't work. So I kind of do that. I'll save parts with orientations that I like, but I'll also keep trying new stuff, because that's the jam. That's why we're doing this stuff. So I'm going to select all these parts out here. I'm going to keep my base height, and I'm actually going to allow these parts to move. So I'm going to put these 4 parts as the nest. Let me see here. Actually, if I can get a couple more of these, that would be all right. Let's put 5 of them in there and just see. And then I'm going to select all these parts, and I'm going to go all parts in scene, selected parts first. So those parts that I need in the build first will be nested first. And so we got 71 total parts going into this one, and once it gets moving here, I'll grab it so I can kind of show you. Oh. So that was boohoo. We don't want to kick out a socket for extra brackets. Sorry, Bo, love ya, but not that much. Let's see if I can go with like 2 of those. How that jives. So again, same settings here. There's 2 sockets in. In a perfect world, which it obviously is not. Alright, we might just be keeping it like this. Whoopsie. Getting late, sorry about that. Alright, let's try that again. So I'm doing just the sockets first. See, that is buku right there. So we'll go back here again. That is just the dumbest thing in the world. Materialize, if you're watching, why? If I start it like this and say put these 3 parts in first and it's already nested them in this spot and it likes that, why would it move them out? I just do not understand. So now what I'm going to do is keep those 3 parts fixed, and I'm going to select these 5 and I'm going to do it like this. So here's like the hack until they create it to be a little bit smarter. Go to part settings, hit specify per part, and you can go to these 3 parts and just fix them where they're at. So they're location locked now. Let me actually just look at them and see if I can make them any tighter, but they look pretty jammed in there. Yeah, they are in there, son. So yeah, I'm just going to leave them where they're at and do this. And I'm going to fix these bad boys so they can't move. And then at that point, the software has to do what I want it to do. If you turn off enough variables, it's just going to have to listen to you. So see how it like did exactly what I wanted to do immediately? Like that, I shouldn't have to go through and do that workaround is my point. It's kind of irritating. That should just be a button. So this is cool, man. We got the density up to 8%. That is slamming. I'm going to bump down the irradiance on the machine a half of a level because it's just been a little tight on tolerancing, and threads that should work together are just a little bit tight still. So we're going to dial that down, and this should be a good build right here. Nice 300 millimeters at 8 1/3 nesting percentage. That is right what you want in my land. I'm just going to hit keep current state because I'm psyched about this. This build is exactly what I'm looking for. Those parts being inside those parts, I'm cool with that. We'll leave that how it is. Go top view. I'm going to grab the parts here that didn't get nested, which was only one. We ended up with 67 parts in this build, so that's a pretty good little build. And you know, you got some cool stuff to get some new business with. You got some good business in there paying for the build, and you know, good stuff. So that is how you do the programming that far. Now, way you take it from here, you select everything. This is the workaround currently. Go to tools, go to merge parts, blah 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 blah. I don't care about that. Okay. So now it's merging all of them together, which actually I violated my rule, which is always save before you merge, because if it merged wrong, I'm gonna try to control Z out of it and hopefully not crash this. Cool. So it didn't crash. That's good. I'll come out here, save as, save project as. I've got all of my projects saved in here, and so I kind of just leave them like that. Oh, I gotta name it the date that it was when I started making the build, not the name of the date when I end the build. So there it is. Now I've got that saved. Now I merge my parts into one STL file, and then I will, again, supercomputer. Your computer will not more than likely be able to do that quickly. This is just because we went a little crazy on it. So now you've got the one part there. Now I can hit save, and then I'm gonna put it in here as today's date, or yesterday's date, STL. So this is essentially my build file. So I have an STL, a merge STL saved, but I have my Magix file, which is the whole deal, saved with all the parts individual and all still named. Now you might say, well, you can just unpack these again, but here's the deal. If I overwrite the Magix file with it saved as one, and then I reopen that file tomorrow and then try to separate all these out, it's just going to call them shell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 67. So what I do is when I close this out right here, I'm going to hit no. I do not want to save my changes to my .magix file. My .magix file is my key. That's the home that I can always go back to and see what parts were what in that build. So I'm going to hit no here. I have my STL file saved out here. I'm going to take that STL and open SmartStream with it. This is going to take a little bit. I got to go tell my machine that the spittoon's been cleaned. So while this is loading, oh my gosh, that was fast. So now it's got this silly red X, which it won't let you send a print as long as you have this silly red X on your part, which is just crazy. But anyway, I hit auto fix on that, and while this is automatically fixing, I'm gonna go hit that button on the printer so that it knows that, you know, the spittoon's been in there. I'm gonna get rid of the red X under printer, so I'll be back in just a second. Alright, so it looked like I got that fix off taken care of, so we're good to go. I'm just kind of finishing up. I've got, let me see here. I've got a, that should be cool. Make sure that's good. So I just had to, I forgot I had a little bit of crust on the bottom of my one fusing lamp lens. So that's on the print carriage. So I went ahead and hit that with some steel wool and got that cleaned up. I didn't have to pop it off and take it out to get it done. Usually during the day I would go ahead and pop it off and do it, but being a little after midnight, it's just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and run it with that. I hit a, oh man, I can't remember what it was. It's too late, but it was, I'm running some calibration and then I'm adjusting my thermal or my irradiance down just a half nominally, and then that's gonna be that. So I'm waiting until I run through all those things before I send the build over. So this is kind of just gonna chill right here for the time being until I send the build. So up until then, I'm pretty much just gonna be sitting here chilling and watching the printer think. So I might just wrap it up right here and call it on this live stream. And I think I got a couple of cool calls tomorrow. I think one of my calls tomorrow I might be able to stream as well. I know I'll definitely be recording it for content. So looking to doing a lot more of these type of things. Little live streams, kind of let you in on what it's like to have one of these printers and have to pretty much live your life around the schedule of the printer. So yeah, just kind of trying to document the journey as much as possible. I view pretty much all these little videos as journal entries. So some of them will be cool, some of them will be boring, some will have a little bit of both. To me, this is just like, this is super awesome and fun stuff, but it still works. So I know that there's a lot of people out there that would see a lot of value in being able to do some of the things on here. So just trying to spread the word and increase the wealth out there, increase the knowledge of kind of what I think is, that's what my normal is. If I can share what my normal is and other people see things in it that helps their day to day and their workflow good. If you see something in my workflow that I can make better, let me know as well, because I'm definitely not the most efficient, but I think I'm more efficient than some. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I got a little bit of this, running through some stuff here and get this print off and running, and that'll be that for today. So yeah, Tuesday. That'll be it for Tuesday. See you guys tomorrow. Really appreciate it. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for watching, and do the subscribe and the bell so you can see it when we actually do live streams, because I pretty much just pop up and I'm just like, let's go, let's live stream. So appreciate it. Thank you very much. If I can even get in to turn it off.